Yeah, I mean, it's, if it is, have that very well. If you want to use packing peanuts, you can use that box for them. That'd probably be the best bet, to be honest. Yes. That way they can caress the mirror. Caress the mirror.
Not necessarily one to stay forever.
What do you guys need up with?
I can print it off about 10 more, but
Well, we got quite a few people logging on today already. First log on here was Tim Myers, then Stefan Del Pra, and Mike Wiesner. Hello from cloudy Arizona. Book Davies is on. We have James, the astrophotographer. Martin Eastberg. Howdy from from overcast East Texas. I love East Texas. It's beautiful out there. I remember camping out at Glen Rose and, visiting different places out there. Really cool. Jeff Wise says hello to Explore Scientific, Tim, Stefan, Mike, and Book. And we have Elizabeth Price who's on. Oh, nice to see you here. Cameron Gillis, hello from Seattle. Let's see, who else? Jim Norwood's on. Michael Whitaker's on. The Astro Beard is on. Getting gear set up and acclimated to temperature. Hope the weather holds out for tonight. Yeah, we hope to. Book says, if I could shake hands with all of yas, I would. That's right. Well, maybe we can do like a virtual elbow bump or something like that. Let's see. Mike Wiesner says, nice to see Kent back at work in the Explore Scientific Secret New Products Lab. Yes. And Jonathan Hansen says hello. Well, welcome everybody. Our special guest is Carlos Aragon. I think you're going to really enjoy this. So.
Hey everyone.
Do you know off the top of your head what size screw this girl needs to get her finder bracket off?
Hi, I'm Noah Petro, the project scientist for the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, a spacecraft that has been orbiting the moon for over a decade, paving the way for humans to return to the surface.
Cannot have an Allen set?
Excited about the amount of data that we've been able to collect on the moon. We now know more about its geological history, its chemistry, and topography than ever before. But to me, the data also show something beyond the science we've investigated, its beauty. The visualizations you're about to see not only hold important scientific value, but artistic value as well. These moonscapes have a fascinating story to tell, and I hope it's one that you enjoy. The moon is our nearest neighbor, our nightlight. It's also our memory. While wind, water, and molten rock erase Earth's deep history, the moon remembers everything that has happened in the last 4.5 billion years. The impact that formed the Oriental Basin provides a window to understanding how similar large events on other planets and moons have shaped their landscapes. The discovery of water on the sunlit surface of Clavius crater not only unlocks new possibilities for future lunar exploration, but also our understanding of where the ingredients of life could exist in our vast universe. The steep trenches and cracked surface of Komarov crater on the far side tell a story of the ancient volcanic activity from the moon's interior, revealing the history of geologic forces carving the lunar terrain through time. Traversing the landscape, we can see a beautiful tapestry of ridges and mountains, best encapsulated by the view of Tycho crater. The summit of its central peak stands nearly 3 miles above the crater floor, a visual metaphor for the steep challenges but exciting rewards that await us on the moon and beyond. And on the lunar horizon, the most consequential view of all, our home. To study the moon is to study ourselves, our past, our present, and our future. Each new discovery bringing us from darkness into light. The gravitational forces between Earth and Moon make our very existence possible, creating one of the most special relationships throughout time and space.
Well, hello everybody. This is Scott Roberts from Explore Scientific, and I'm very happy to have Kent Marks back with us again, and our special guest Carlos Aragon, who I asked to be on the show yesterday after he started talking about how he has helped to solve, crack the code on how to conduct a star party during this pandemic. And so he's going to talk a little bit about that, and also about his activities and what he does to do astronomy outreach. Carlos, it's great to have you on our show today.
Thanks, Scott. I really appreciate you guys having me. It's an honor to be here.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
So, Carlos, why don't we get started? First off, let's just talk a little bit about yourself. How did you kind of get into, how did you find astronomy, or how did astronomy find you? And tell us about your outreach program, and then we'll get into how to protect yourself during a pandemic like this at a star party.
All right. So, my name's Carlos Aragon. I was never really into astronomy. I of course love the sky like most people do, but I never had a telescope or anything. Um, I live in Tucson, Arizona, with my beautiful girlfriend, and I came here by the Air Force. This was my last duty station. I was a crew chief on the C-130s, and I was injured. I got medically retired and discharged from a very bad shoulder injury. And then basically I was put on painkillers, and after 6 years of that and being out of the military, I became an addict and homeless. It's a really crazy story.
Wow.
Yeah. And, so that taught me a lot of experience and lessons. And someone found me behind Safeway, dehydrated, messed up. And I decided that day I was either going to die or change my life. So they took me to the VA rehab, and it was absolutely incredible. It was everything I could have hoped for. There were wonderful people there, and it's not as scary as it seems. It's like going to college, classes 8 hours a day. You got dorms and stuff, so it was really fun. And after 6 years of being on those painkillers, I lost myself. I lost my morals. I lost all that stuff. So, getting out of rehab, being clean, me and my girlfriend started volunteering to help other homeless places. And then one day I bought a Walmart telescope just for fun, and accidentally found Jupiter.
Wow.
And it blew my mind. It was so amazing to be able to see that in the backyard. I didn't know you could do that, especially with a $40 telescope. And that was my first mistake of going to Walmart. Never go to Walmart to buy a telescope. Sorry, Walmart, but you just don't have it yet. But I'm so grateful for that telescope, because that night I came back inside after like an hour, and I realized I didn't have anxiety. I didn't have stress. I wasn't worried about anything. I felt happy. I was in awe of what I saw. I was, going to all my family members, telling them, I saw the moons. I think I saw cloud bands. And it was such a good feeling. And from that moment on, I knew I wanted to share it with as many people as I could. So we went and bought a used 8-inch Dobsonian, your typical one that everyone recommends. And we started setting it up in the Safeway parking lot. It's kind of a weird turn of events. Safeway is just the place, I guess. Anyways, we just let anyone come look, and it was a hit. And in our area of East Tucson, Westside Tucson has Starzona. They have their star parties there and such.
Sure.
But we don't have anything over here on the east side. So I started a little Facebook club, and that turned into, pretty cool thing. We started going to Safeway more, and then kept volunteering at nonprofits. And then that led to us looking at each other and saying, you know what? Astronomy helped me find myself. It helped me with my mental health issues. It helped me with my my happiness, my boredom, my so many things. And we thought, why don't we combine astronomy and charity work? So that's where our nonprofit comes in. It's called Reach for the Stars, and we founded it June 2020, last year. And a lot of people wonder, like, why astronomy and charity work? It's kind of unique. It's weird. What's up with that? And so I explained to them how I came to be into astronomy and how it helps people during hard times, how it can. Especially kids. Kids have anxiety and stuff too. And especially during this COVID, you got to find something to do. You have to find something to do with your family. Astronomy isn't just fascinating. You know,
It's
it can
for you.
spark a huge STEM educational pathway in a kid, and you never know who that kid's going to be. So every time we share views to someone, that's always going through my head. So
Well,
our
that is an amazing story. It's um, it's interesting because I'm starting a book, and I am actually looking for people that whose lives have changed for the better because they started doing astronomy. You know, just average people. Okay, you know, and I know that you know, many of us, you know, have their lives have been changed by astronomy. You know, it just reframes everything. You know, you see other worlds and stuff, and you realize that it's you know, that you're part of this whole living universe. You know, and so it's
yeah, it
hard to
gives you
put into
perspective.
words. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. It's hard to put into words. But you know, I think that yeah, your story is amazing, and you know, and you and I should talk about having maybe a chapter devoted in this book that I'm trying to put together. So I think it'd be
I'd
very
be
cool.
honored. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be very cool. You know, and I'm sure there's other people here in the audience too. You know, I mean, astronomy helps, you know, people that have had, you know, other, you know, terrible events happen to them in their lives, people who have been repressed, you know, for much of their lives. Sepede Hushar is in a girl in Iran, you know, who wanted to be an astronomer and actually to be an astronaut. And, you know, the oppressive the way that culture has repressed girls in that country, you know, and women. She stood up
yeah,
and did some amazing stuff. There's a great documentary about her. You know, I could just go on and on. You know, of how astronomy for, you know, non-professional scientists have helped them so much, and I do believe, and I'm sure that you do too. Very much so that it is good for everyone of all ages, you know. So
absolutely. It can touch anyone's lives. Doesn't matter if you're, you know, if you're old, young. You know, we have dads picking up their, you know, 3-year-olds to look through the telescope just to give them any type of view. You know, it's awesome to see um, how many people can just enjoy this hobby. It's for everyone, and many
mhm.
people say it, but it's just it's a wonderful thing, and it needs to be shared.
Well, thank
Absolutely.
you. I
So
mean, to tell a story like that is puts is a kind of you know, is kind of a vulnerable moment, and when you're doing it live like that, so that's I really respect you for that. Um,
thank you.
but let's get into you've talked a little bit about your outreach program. You have you're on social media. You're on Facebook. You have a
Yeah,
website at this time, or
absolutely.
yeah?
Um,
Why don't you share those your screen and show these sites and stuff so people can we can call some attention to it.
sure. Thank you. Again, it's a nonprofit, fully approved. It's called Reach for the Stars, and it's a it is one second. It's basically it has 3 main programs. This is our website. It's www.rftstars.com, Reach for the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Nice,
it's,
nice
you know, we're
logo.
still working on it. Yeah, the logo's nice and fun.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, we have 3 programs. Our motto is exploring the universe to inspire those in it.
Yeah.
And that holds true to all the programs that we do. This image was taken recently by a student of the high school photography class during one of our star parties just a few months ago. But we have 3 programs. The first one is homeless outreach. We buy these backpacks in bulk and fill them with essential items, first aid kits, snacks, socks, anything that you think a homeless person would need. And so we try to, it's one of our passions to help those people or help people in general not get to the place where I was. Um, so that's one of our programs. The second one is monthly star parties. We have a star party every month, and I'll get into how we do that pretty soon. Uh, Anyone's welcome. All these programs are completely free, and yeah, it's a really good time. The telescopes that we have, most of them were donated. There's a lot of people who are so generous, so kind, and so giving, and they know that it's going towards a good cause. So,
Oh yeah, it's all.
and then the third program is a family food program. Anyone who needs food can come to our home every 2 weeks and pick up a large, few boxes of a large quantity of food. So no questions asked. We have shelves all over our house right now and in our garage full of stuff. So those are our programs. And then a sub program of the Star Party program is it's called Amplified Silence and Telescopes for Kids.
Mhm.
So every week or two, we donate a Celestron First Scope, Robert Reeves Moon Edition, to a child in a low-income family, and it's more of a surprise. So, getting back to that, we really want to inspire STEM, quality family time, um, you know, hobbies, all types of stuff, and telescopes can really change someone's lives. So, we try to give out as many telescopes as we can. So we partnered with Celestron to help make that happen. So, but yeah, it's our website's fun, simple. We have we'll go back up and we have astronomy page, program page, events page. I'm still building it up every week, but it's fun and just to share astronomy. We have a gift shop with astronomy trinkets, and we share our newsletter every month. All types of stuff. So, and anything that's bought here goes straight to 100% goes straight to us. So yeah, that's it's basically yeah, it goes straight to the program. So
Cool. Excellent.
yeah.
Well, I recommend everybody watching this program to check out that website and maybe do what you can to support Carlos's initiatives here. What do you think of that, Ken?
That's fascinating. That truly, a fascinating story, and it's always interesting to see how people get touched by things they never dream of. Carlos never expected to have astronomy change his life, to have a very inexpensive telescope, a toy telescope, change the trajectory of his life forever. We all face that. We don't know when something little is going to happen that's going to change who we are. And that's amazing, Carlos, what you've done, that in addition to getting cleaned up, that you took it 10 steps further and have expanded that to help other people. Just thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure. And I couldn't have done it without my wonderful girlfriend, Kira. She's an example and my hero. And she's, we do this our full-time passion. We're both retired military, so we can put our full-time effort into this. And that's allowed us to hand out 14,000 meals last month.
Folks.
Where do you get all that food from? Is there a food bank that you're able to buy it at, 10 cents a pound or something like that? Or is it just one can at a time?
We work with distribution center called Midwest Food Bank. There's a few others also, but they get food from stores and they get it in bulk. So we get to go pick up a pallet of food every month. And that covers about half of it. The other half, or I'd say, I don't know, The other 40% comes from the community. The community's amazing. They'll come to our house and drop off food. We'll get 5 donations a day, and then whatever we um, can't, fill the need with that, we'll buy. We'll do couponing. We'll do whatever we can to get good sales, and we try to give our families or our clients the full spectrum of food, the full food pyramid. We don't just want to give them bread or veggies. We give them meats, frozen entrees, a whole pantry worth of stuff, all types of stuff. So milk, you name it. So the community has been a huge, huge help. So, and it's really, inspired us to keep going. And especially when they donate and then come to our star parties
Yeah.
and then, come to a backpack filling day or something. It's just,
You're nourishing them, and then you're giving them the medicine of exploring the stars.
yeah, if you just
Really
give someone, if you give someone the basic necessities and then you give them something to look forward to and do in the meantime,
Yeah.
it's perfect. So that's what we do.
How do you see, before we get into how you safely do this, these star parties during this pandemic, how do you see it affecting people that you're working with? I imagine that there's homeless people. I know that painkillers was. I mean, this whole thing with all the opiates and all that really tragically affected many people's lives, and they did not come out of it like you did. Okay, so but what are you seeing right now? Do you see it having good effect? What would you say?
You mean our programs?
Yeah.
How they affect people? Yeah. What's really cool is so we fill our car up with backpacks. We drive around town. Any homeless person we see, we hand them to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get calls from homeless people, which is awesome because that means they're talking to each other. They're telling each other what's happening, what we're doing, what's available to them, and then we can start to build a relationship, and that's the key. Our backpacks have our little logo on them, and if a homeless person can remember that logo, and if they see it, they know they're going to get help from those people from us. We can build rapport with them, and then when they're ready to finally change, they can contact us. We also provide a resource list in the backpacks for rehabs, housing centers, different places like that. But we have a few clients who contact us regularly every week, asking for different things that they need, and the community steps up. And that kind of power of seeing the community have each other's back, even with the homeless. Some people turn their head, never think twice about a homeless person.
Right. Or
It just takes one step.
They're afraid of homeless people.
Yeah, and that's and that's normal. A lot of people are afraid, and one thing that a lot of people said, it's we want to have star parties at a homeless park for the homeless to inspire them to do anything to give them some hope, and then give them backpacks. And people are like, I won't do that. I won't walk up to a homeless park. That's scary. It's at night. You got to understand, they're just human. These things, all it takes is one traumatic event to make someone completely lose everything.
Yeah.
And, I've met doctors, lawyers, cops, people who are homeless now that used to have normal lives, and they're just out there cold. They need help. And so, when we get to share those stories about showing a homeless person, Saturn's rings, or how the community stepped up and got a solar panel for a homeless couple who had to walk 5 miles a day to Walmart to charge their phone. That little seed of I guess help, showing the communities helping each other, even helping the homeless, can spark a wave of giving, throughout someone. It might change someone's perspective on things. that the homeless need help. So if there's anything that we're doing that's helping, that's a
huge.
win. So
It's huge.
Yeah.
And how does the astronomy help with their? I mean, are you seeing people not only be inspired but actually taking action after they've been exposed to astronomy? Is it something that you're seeing helping them dig their way out of a homeless situation somehow?
not yet, but I'd never call that something that would never happen.
Yeah.
You know, we just started in June. We haven't gotten too much into the homeless star parties.
Yeah.
But we have tried to do everything we can to help them and build that relationship first, so that when we do bring, have an event, that they're more willing to come, to talk to us, to ask, to tell us what they need.
Yeah.
But other than the homeless, I have seen a telescope change lives, in families. A family with an autistic child was never social before, and now they're really social. They love coming to star parties. I didn't even tell him how to use the telescope. This was a go-to GPS 11.
Hmm.
He walked up. He'd never touched the telescope before. He grabbed the controller. The GPS has a terrible fault, and it won't align. It went through that flash, and all the GPSs from the old GPSs, you can't update them. So it wouldn't align. So I just use it to let people play around with.
Yeah.
He found Saturn, 10 seconds. He
Wow.
slewed over to Saturn, centered it. He said, I got it. This kid is, he's going through challenges, and now he's, it's like he's blossoming. And there's kids with social issues, anxieties, all types of things. And we see these telescopes just brighten their day. They get so excited, even using them during the day. So, it's such a blessing to be able to do this for people. And it teaches them patience. It teaches them how to be, how to spend time to get a reward. It's very rewarding once you finally find something. So
Oh yeah.
it's just really fun programs, and I love what I do. I'm very fortunate.
I'm going to tell my
Even though we don't make any money at all, and that's, you don't need money. All you need is to be happy. So it's great.
So, Carlos, you're doing star parties now, correct?
Yes.
So, how are you handling the social distance and the contact point of the eyepiece and things like that?
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So we had to come up with a way to continue these star parties. It's an essential program, especially for networking, meeting people who need help, meeting people who are having issues with food or anything like that. So we came up with a list of things that we can go and present to the city to ask if we can continue to host these parties. So I started looking online. People use plexiglass everywhere to help with COVID. So on Amazon, you can buy 4x6 plexiglass sheets that look just like this.
Okay.
I'm going to have to turn off my thing.
Just hold it in front of you. That's okay. We
Yeah,
can
if
see
you hold
it.
it in front of your face, you're okay.
Okay. So this is the little device that we created that blocks a person's eye from touching the telescope and the eyepiece. All it is a 4x6 sheet of plexiglass.
Mm-hmm.
I glued a handle on with a double-sided Gorilla Glue tape, and it comes from Amazon with double-sided film. So you can peel off the film. So we buy these in bulk. They're $15 for 20 of them. It's not the best, but you can cut them in half and make them even last longer. So when families arrive, we give them each person a plexiglass sheet. We tell them don't peel off the film yet because we don't want you to dirty it up. And one side is marked with eye, as in eyeball. The other side's marked with scope. So they know only to touch this side of their face. The other side touches the scope. So if it's a big family, we might only give the parents one. And if there's kids, we let the parents hold them because we don't want them touching all over this, So it's a fine line between trying to do everything you can to help and, just giving up. So with this plexiglass sheet, as well as a list of other things like a table at each telescope with hand sanitizer, with alcohol wipes, big box of alcohol wipes, and then the big wipes. So after every single family stays in their group. They stay 10 feet from the next family in a line because families come and go look at the object and then the next family comes. So they stay within their group. They use a plexiglass sheet. After they use it, I just wipe the little, the eyepiece extension on the battered zoom click. The eyepiece cup pops out. So you don't even have to touch the glass. You just wipe the plastic. The next family comes. And at the beginning of the star party, we just give a big, we give a speech, say everyone's required to wear a mask. Everyone's required to stay in their groups with their family, 10 feet from the next one. And then we have, little trash cans for the film. But these sheets have really been a huge change. This was a deciding factor between allowing us to have one or not allowing us. So, and they're relatively inexpensive. You can reuse them. You just have to throw them in the dishwasher. Yeah. And yeah, so and they're crystal clear. They do not impede the view. When you peel off the sides of the film, it doesn't change or disrupt the view at all. They become crystal clear. So they're really great little devices, and they keep everyone from not being able to touch anything. So we have a list, and I've been sharing that list with other clubs who've shut down, and a few of them have started back up because of just this little thing.
Now,
So
you said that you got approval from the state to conduct star parties like this with all of your techniques. How did you apply for that? I mean, what was that process like?
So we work with a place called, it's a Vale Coffee Stop, and they have events too.
Mm-hmm.
And we use their venue, their area. And when the city comes and, you go to get approval from the city. I worked with another man who did this for us.
Okay.
But yeah, he went, he said, we want to have this event here. There might be over 50 people. Can we do it at night? Can we do it during the curfew?
At the city level, not the state. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And they said, after some time, they said yes. So even during, with the curfew going on, we couldn't go into curfew, but we ended the party right, 10 minutes before curfew, let everyone get home. And so it's just something to look into. And these sheets, they're very pointy, and you just I snip off the corners with scissors. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need the stick. They can hold it if they want and just use it like this. But the stick helps, especially for kids. So
That's awesome.
it's not some scientific crazy thing. It's just something that,
Hey,
further
Carlos,
protects. Yeah.
would you in the chat function, go real quick, go to Amazon and find that
Sure.
link and share that link for everybody? Because I think that would be I'm sure I'm interested in buying some. I'm not the only guy interested in buying some.
Absolutely. I have some in my cart right now.
I'm finding
'Cause we
some
have a
12
We have a
by
star
12.
party on the 30th. They're 4x6. Kyle
Inch.
Palmley,
inches.
I can share my screen if you want.
Yeah, 4 by 6 inches.
Yeah. There's some big sheets on Amazon. I'm not seeing the small ones. Yeah.
I'm gonna type it in the chat right now.
That's like $10 a month. And I get a lot.
Chat. Where's the chat at? There you are.
I'm saying like,
Here, I'll send you one.
There it is.
That's a 20 pack, and you can cut them in half to make them 40
There
if
we
you're
go.
really on. So
Excellent. Wow. Carlos,
they're for picture frames, but now they're for astronomy.
How did you find them? Just look into them?
I literally just looked for plexiglass sheets that I could cut up. I thought I'd have to buy a huge one, and then I found these. So, and I thought they might impede the view. I thought it might make it blurry or anything. It doesn't change a thing. It's perfect.
How many uses cycles have you gotten out of them?
After 2, I get new ones.
Okay. But is
They
that
might get
because,
scratched. They get scratched up or something
yeah,
like
that's,
that.
so 2 or 3 cycles is about the life cycle of
Yeah.
them. Okay.
And maybe one day we'll find better ways to do it with glass or something. I don't know.
yeah, I'm really, I was, when you came onto the program, while we were waiting, you know, we started talking, and I did not know about your background or anything. So I'm really stunned. But I will tell you, I have a lot of admiration for what you've done. You know, the
Thank you, Scott.
comments in the chat here. You know, this audience is just many people are saying some amazing stuff here. A homeless person just chatted with us on this group as well. And
Wow.
so, you know, you don't know who you're going to reach, you know, and doing something like what you're doing. I'm glad that we had you on so we could just introduce you to our audience. And I really want to thank our audience for also recognizing the great work that Carlos is doing. So that's fantastic. If there was
Thank you guys.
out
Seriously.
there, you know.
I couldn't do it without any of you. You guys literally inspired me. When I first started, I'd be watching your streams. I'd be, you know, looking on your websites. So it's a community effort. We all have each other's backs. So
That's right. That's right. And that's the amazing thing about the astronomy community. You know, it crosses
Yeah.
many lines. So, and it goes all over the world. So let's switch over to Kent. Carlos, thank you so much. I hope that you can join us tonight on the Global Star Party.
absolutely, anytime, just message me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you, Kent and Scott. Take care.
I look forward to seeing you sometime. We'll make it to Arizona. Certainly want to meet you in person.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Sure. All right. So, so Ken, it's been it's your first day back, right?
Yep.
After being out, you feel strong again?
Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, for the people that know the story, my daughter tested positive for COVID on the morning of December 28th. And I went home, and I've been at home since then, and tested positive, 2.5 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and enjoyed my time in my bedroom, you know, living in a, you know, everybody thinks it's awesome to
I think you only took one day off.
yeah, but you know, people think it'd be wonderful to be stuck in a 12 by 12 cabin out in the woods. And, you know, boy, it's bedrooms get small real quick. But yeah, you know, continued to work through the whole thing. I didn't miss a day of work. And it was like, you know, not bad flu. I mean, I've been sicker with the flu than that, but most assuredly, knowing what it was makes the potential so much worse. And, you know, it's just do what the doctors say and wear a mask and wash your hands and keep wearing masks, you know.
That's right.
I mean, I know now more than a dozen people who have died from COVID related, you know, it attacked them, you know, where otherwise more or less, you know, in their 50s, 60s and 70s, but it attacked them and took them down, you know, and You do the right thing.
Yep. Do the right thing. Yep. Well, but it's good to see you back. And I know that our audience missed you. So, although you were on programs with me too. So,
A couple of times, yes.
yeah, that's right. That's right. I know that you didn't have time to prepare anything for us today, but
I don't have time to prepare when a customer calls and asks a question either. So, when you pick up the phone, you don't have time to prepare.
that's true. But people are glad. I can tell people are chatting here and saying that they're glad that you're back and you're feeling better and that you're a trooper. And, we're very happy with that. We were talking about. I was joking with Kent earlier that I was telling Carlos that Kent's still in the Apollo program, and Kent was talking about the Saturn V booster behind him, and the lunar module back there as well. I do want to remind everybody that tomorrow is Buzz Aldrin's 91st birthday. So you guys want to shout out on Facebook or whatever, give Buzz Aldrin a nice shout out and hashtag Buzz Aldrin. And, he is a worldwide hero. And I'm very happy to have had my association with him. I can tell you that he has an Explore Scientific telescope, which he has recently returned so I could refurbish it for him. So it's an ED-102 Apo, and it's got a special golden plaque on it. It shows him in relief, the famous shot of him holding onto the American flag. With this golden plaque, I was able to get some lunar meteorite dust. And I worked with Dr. Mike Reynolds, who's now passed on, but who got me the meteoritic dust. I worked with Alberto Levy, who does pins and special commemoratives and stuff like that. And we made this very special plaque for him. Alberto and I went to Buzz Aldrin's condo in LA at the time to deliver it to him. And that was a very special moment. But he loves the moon. He loves looking at it, so,
He's one of 12 people who walked on it.
yeah,
You'd have to love the moon.
that's right. So it's an honor to work on his scope and all of that. So I'm really happy about that. Tonight, we have the 29th Global Star Party. And we've got a lot of your favorites will be on there. Of course, David Levy, David Eicher, Libby and the Stars, D.T. Gautam will be on, Molly Wakeling. I think Gary Palmer will be on. We're trying to corral the guys that from South America with Rodrigo Zeleda and Cesar Bralo.
That's probably where they came from.
Watch tonight. It starts at 7.
Are you clicking the box that says
Is there anything that you would like to add there, Kent?
for ESPD?
Sales are still crazy strong. I am just
People still like
shocked.
astronomy.
People are still buying stuff, and I keep stressing this to everyone I talk to that I can. It's our job to keep these people here. It's easy to sell them a telescope. It's more of a challenge, especially in this.
We have to serve them. I mean, it's
Right.
We're outfitters for people who explore with in astronomy.
And by
It's
week,
just part of it. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's getting the backpack and the sleeping bag and the tent and all the rest of it. We want to help you with your journey, and we want to let you know that you have a community that is here for you. We run these live programs. We try to do them daily. That's another message I wanted to give you guys. Tomorrow we will not have a live program. I unfortunately have to do some personal things to take care of on Wednesday, but on Thursday I'll be back. So you'll see me then. And
Well, Scott, by we, I want to stress we is not you and me in Explore Scientific. We is everyone in astronomy. We have to keep these people in this hobby we love,
that's true.
facilitate their growth and expansion, because it just makes our hobby stronger, makes it better for all of us, you know. And as Carlos said, the changes it can bring about are far in excess of, oh, gee, I got to see Jupiter. You know, it can change your life.
Yeah. Oh wow, James the astrophotographer says I got to have a beer with Gene Cernan at the Pensacola Naval Air Station Officers Club. That is cool. That's great. You know, that kind of tells you what the community of astronomy is about. It is not totally rare for you to have, to meet face to face with people who've discovered things, who have spent time in space. We all feel this need to share the inspiration and excitement and the knowledge that is gained by, exploring our universe. And whether you're doing that with a telescope or binoculars or the naked eye, or you're an astronaut or physicist, or you've just completed some amazing research that's getting you a science award of some sort. We're all connected, and people love
just stick it in there.
Channel changing device.
Thank you for participating in it, and those of you doing outreach out there, keep up the good work. Carlos, thank you ever so much for coming on our show and sharing your life with us. And I think that's all I have to add for today. Okay? All right.
Thanks, everybody. Good to be back.
And we'll see you tonight. Here we go.